proud of our approach. We had some really good practices since we came back from Christmas. I think it carried over to the start of the game. Guys were excited to play today, and I thought we played a very good defense in the first half. Some of the best defense I thought we played because they definitely could shoot it well, and they isolate and all that. We did a good job with the game plan, and then we just got to continue the second half. We got lackadaisical and lost our focus and gave them some easy baskets, and then we had a fight on our hands, but that's league play, and it's a good win. When you can win the first one, half the league is going to be 0-1, and half the league is going to be 1-0. I'm glad we're 1-0.
Coach Isaac Van comes back and immediately makes an impact on the floor with the three, a couple of defensive plays. Now that you're at full team, do you feel like this is all the pieces coming together at the right time?
Yeah, I don't know if it's all coming together. We still got a lot of work to do, like everybody does. But having another very good basketball player that we can use, and he can impact the game on both ends of the court, and you saw that today. For him missing all that time, he had really good demeanor today, a really good feel. Looked like he didn't miss a beat, and he had some really nice passes. But I thought his defense was very good. I mean, he can really guard the ball, and his length and his anticipation really helps us on the defense end as well. So we're glad to have him.
Coach, 21-3 in bench points. How much is an advantage to have that, especially like you said, going to league play, knowing that, especially if you have a guy that has to go to the bench for foul trouble or whatever, that guys can step up for your basketball team?
Well, I think it's huge, and because those two guys were out, some guys were thrown in the fire every day against some really good teams. So that experience now, that's going to be a strength for us. And Sean Mobley and Marcus Santos Silva and Mikel Sims, those three guys were thrown in the fire. But now Louis Junkum, I thought he played great today, but he's had a great week of practice. And then there's another guy, and then Xavier we can use. And Xavier goes in the game. It's not his first time. He's been through the battle before. So it gives us, as I like to say, it's our Army. And our Army's strong. It's strong in numbers, and it's strong in ability. And we need to continue to use that as a strength, especially when you go on the road, too, and some things don't go your way or foul trouble. I think it's got to be an advantage for us.
Coach, Fordham coming into this one, they were 27% three-point shooting team, but 44% of their shots were threes. What's the game plan? I mean, because it's like they're going to shoot a lot of shots that they don't typically make. How do you?
Well, that's where I think the analytical, the stats you got to move aside. Their offense is three-point based. They're shooting a lot of attempts. They're going to shoot a little bit more than others. So we got to be prepared for that, because in today they were making them, and if we didn't respect that or we weren't ready for that, and they get rolling even more than they did today, then now we're in trouble. So we scouted them, and our approach was they are a three-point shooting team. Let's not give them open ones, and then let's make sure we can guard the ball.
Speaking of that, this team was 5-7 coming in today, but when you look at their schedule, when you look at how the hard teams they played, the hard teams you guys played, you have to throw out stats when it comes to this team, because they are capable of beating anyone in the country, correct?
Yeah, and the last time VCU played Fordham won. We don't have a lot of guys that were at that game, including our coaching staff, but there were some guys in that game when that went down. So that was brought up from Johnny and Justin and all that stuff. And anybody can beat anybody on a given day. You guys know all that stuff, but I think they played a really good schedule. They played some really good teams, tough. They played West Virginia the other day very, very well. I mean, I think it was a 4-point game, and they had the ball late in the game. So it's, and the way they play, they get hot shooting the ball, and they have some guys that can really make individual plays. And then they sort of junk it up on defense. They play a couple different defenses that could get you standing around. And at times we really focused and attacked it. At times we stood around. And if that happens over a period of time, they can easily beat you. And they'll beat some teams in our league for sure.
They've been one of the best turnover forcing teams in the country under their current coach, and then he at Eastern Kentucky did the same. What does he do?
It's not as much as it's always denying. It's being different than everybody else, positioning-wise, and then playing in between. So when you're driving, when you're driving the basketball, you think somebody's going to come in and step in and stop you. Well, that guy's playing both. So you're off balance when you shoot it. You go pass it early, and he jumps the pass. That's the Chartuni is leading the country in steals, and not like Briante, where he just goes out there and picks your pocket, but by anticipation, by playing two, getting in between 2-3 different guys and playing the angle. That's different. And then they play, their one man-to-man defense where they deny 3 guys and 2 other guys just stand in the lane and they dare you. That's different, and that plays with your mind, and that's where more veterans are a little bit better against that stuff than younger guys. But that stuff, that's where you get the steals and the deflections and stuff like that, and that's how they get their steals, without a doubt.
Coach, in the first half, it seemed like they couldn't get into anything. You guys were so good in the half-court defense. What was the difference between how you played defense in the first half and what happened?
Well, intensity on the ball, I think, was number one. I thought we just guarded the ball better. That was an emphasis going into the game. Guard the ball, keep the ball in front, make them take tough twos in front of you. And I think in the second half, they started dicing us up a little bit off the dribble. We weren't locked in guarding the ball, and then that's where you get your confidence. You get a couple drives, a couple easy baskets, now you kick it out, wide open 3, and that momentum helped them. First half, and then when we made that run in the second half, I thought our press was really good today. Not that we got steals in the backcourt. We got a couple around half court. They threw a couple, but we got shooting turnovers. Thought they took some bad shots, throwing it out of a trap, or getting caught up in the air and somebody catching it and then fighting the defense and taking a bad shot. We call them shooting turnovers. They don't show up on the stat sheet, but we get a quick rebound and we're gone. And I think that really helped us today.
What did you see in Justin to have him expand his game? I was asking when he was in here. He had like 3 3-point attempts coming into this year. He's almost a 50% 3-point shooter this year, and he looks so comfortable when he takes them. What did you see in letting him stretch his game?
Well, the night I got here to meet with the team, when they flew me from my family and I from Houston to here, next day was the press conference. I met with the team, and when Justin was walking out, I said, "You better be ready to shoot the 3 ball this year." And he went like that, and I said, "That's what we do." That was it, and he worked on it. We helped him. His approach and all that stuff. It's amazing when you take good shots, how many of them go in. And I think he's done a really good job of taking good shots. A guy that's 2 for 2 is probably hunting the next one. He wasn't hunting the next one. He was getting rebounds and finishing around the basket. So that's why his percentage is very good. But he works on it. If after practice he sticks around, works out on it, comes back at night and shoots and all that stuff. And when you have the green light and your coach tells you, "I want you to expand your game," it's not hard to work on your game. It's the other way around, is I don't want you to shoot outside the lane. I mean, how much fun is that to work on your game? So I think he's enjoying the versatility part, and he's working on it.
Will it typically keep coming kind of from the top and a little bit from the wing and not necessarily from the corners?
Yeah, most of the time, trail 3s, replace 3s, and then some pick and pops. Him being, when he's he doesn't leak out to the corner like Malik does, because he wants to be around the rim when he's down there along the baseline. He wants to get a dunk, too. I mean, he likes 3s and dunks. We all know that.
Piggybacking off that, last 9 games for Tillman, I think he's got 8 of them are 20 points or more, 5 double-doubles. I mean, the 3-point shooting, inside, the touch, how does something like this just all come together where he's the most dominant player on the floor and continues to be, in the A-10 as we know?
Clear mind. Just go out there and control what you can control. Don't worry about things you can't control. And, follow the plan. I mean, you'll hear that from me as long as I'm the coach, and we have a plan. We have a plan for you. We have a plan for the team. We have a plan for the program. Follow the plan. Don't let other things mess you up, and play really hard. Justin Tillman's success isn't because he's the most skilled guy on the court or just the best player that shows up. He plays really hard. It's amazing what happens when you play really hard all the time. Good things usually happen, and he's doing that. But a lot of guys are doing that. I'm really proud of them.
1 or 2 more.
And speaking of Joseph Jarkin, he came in, I was looking last night, at 44 steals. He only had 2 today. What did you emphasize to your team in practice about taking care of the ball? Because it looked like the ball movement was crisp today, because a few turnovers, that could turn the game right there.
Yeah, well, driving, they collapse really hard, and he reaches. So, we do a lot of drills where we're hitting with pads and reaching in and grabbing them. So be strong. A gauntlet drill, like you're going through the gauntlet, and we beat the heck out of them. Be strong with the ball. We really emphasized the last few days. And the other thing is sit down. Don't jump up in the air and then, what should I do? Sit down, be on the ground. You saw that a few times where guys are sitting on the ground and extra pivots. to get open. And we said, if he's around you, you better be strong with the ball, or he's taking your ball. We did a pretty good job of that. I thought late in the game we left our feet a few times. We got to get better at closing games out. We gave the ball back to them a few times because we left our feet, but most of the time we did a decent job of that.
What do you think is kind of the key to kind of maintaining that focus in the second half and keeping that mindset of having fun in the pedal? Is that something that comes with experience?
Do you know? If you know, tell me. No, every team is different. I've coached teams that came out at halftime and just put a beating on somebody. Other teams that their personality, they take a deep breath. Oh, we're good, and we got to get that edge. And we try to get out a little bit the last few games earlier to warm them up. And when I go out there and watch them running layups, come on guys, let's go, let's get going. So we just got to keep talking about things and its approach. Some of it's experience, some of it's leadership. Just come on guys, keep holding your guys accountable, being ready to play. And everybody's different, and everybody's approach when you have a 10-point lead or you're down 10, everyone's different. And we just got to keep sharpening that edge and get better at it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
See ya.